Alright, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for Hajime no Ippo, episode 37. Alright, so Ejidate and Ippo are still sparring.
Or at least we hope so.
We hope so.
Because Ippo took a hard hit. And if they wanted to have him just wake up later and the sparring match is over, they could. But hopefully not.
But hopefully not. I really like the way they're showcasing how experience works in the ring, but specifically how Ippo can still tango with someone that has experience. Because in a lot of ways, while they're going to, you know, Eiji's going to understand all of Ippo's moves. Like, he's going to look at it and go, oh, I totally know exactly what he's doing. He still might not be able to counter it, as we saw earlier that he was saved by the bell when it came to Ippo's speed and his strength and his reaction time.
So yeah, I mean, what else is there to say? Like, I'm curious to see how Ippo will basically make Eiji like second guess himself and be like, okay, yeah, this kid is legit. I picked him. I was right when I picked him to spar with. Right.
Or also, I would love to see what kind of conversations they have, because Eiji is basically prepping for his title match.
Yeah, this is his final spar.
Yeah, so this might be something where Eiji could give him some kind of info, wisdom, something that makes up for the lack of Ippo's experience in this regard, and just kind of says, hey, if anyone deserves to make it all the way, like I did, it's you. So go get him.
That would be awesome.
And, you know, we'll probably never fight. But if we do,
I'll look forward to it.
I look forward to it. Yeah, exactly. Some kind of thing like that. That would be pretty cool. Also, we've been teased at this other character, the guy who's in the background of Eiji's kind of shadow at the gym, who was kind of commenting on how all the other people aren't really.
He has a higher passive perception than the other people at the gym.
Exactly. So yeah, y'all, new episode of Hajime no Ippo. So without further ado, let's get into it now. The life 時間はそんなにないぜ So they start away.
Nailed it.
Totally. I want this only. 探し求める。agi niri no hill. Hikari no naka de.
Jibun mo.
Right. Omi no tome. See, I feel like I could follow along with just pronouncing it relatively well, but they need like one of those like little bouncing balls on the syllables.
Yeah,
because then I put the wrong timing on the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. Yeah. Stunning strike.
Basically.
Failed his constitution saving throw. A thing to strive for. Oh, whoa. That little riff there. What was that? Yeah, he's up. Oh, nani? 2秒経過。3秒経過。All right, let's burn some calories.
Yep. You know what's a real good way for burning off calories?
Throwing hands with a sweaty guy in a ring. Oh. Ippo's quick.
Yeah.
Like, despite getting, like, out-techniqued at little moments here and there. Oh! Right at his heart. Dang!
Oh, man. Wow.
Oh!
Okay.
Now he's... Jeez.
Wow.
That is a very dangerous punch. Wow. Alright.
That means that someone could probably pretty easily avoided it if they, like, angled their body differently or something.
Oh my god, he was getting back up. He's got a young heart, that's what it is.
Okay.
Okay. That's a third round.
Or
second round.
Or yeah, that was probably
his
third
round 3,
yeah.
I think that was just the stitch, but when he fell, like, Ippo had the booty right there. At least it looked like it.
I mean, with all the working out he's doing, yeah.
I would expect that, right? Oh. Oh. No, but the other guy's not laughing. Yeah, he's like, wait a minute. He's like, hold on. Don't dick with us here. Like, whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, those blocks. That's nuts. Yikes. Basically say like,
he won't be there long. Yeah.
Like, yeah. But also be like, that's not far away. Like, yeah, if your head swells, like, oh. 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 行く先々で使いっ走りばかりやらされたみたいになりたいって思ったんですよ。先輩みたいに強くなりたいって。でもこの間の青木さんたちの試合や今日の先輩見てやっぱり怖くてパイ強いからこんなことを言ってもわかんないですよね。毎日ミミズ臭いって言われてキック一発。
ああ、ナイス。
張り手3発。Wow. Wow. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Showing the tree.
Yeah.
Boxing.
Yeah. It's called character development. He's like, no, I'm gonna cry.
I'm gonna triple down cheering for you.
He's like, I'm gonna, yeah. Oh.
Now and forever.
Just... Oh my gosh! Wow. Ah. Yeah. 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 Don't give up. Basically. Yeah. That's okay. That's okay. How? Ah! Liar!
Wow.
Liar!
Wow. He's gonna get chewed out so hard.
Yeah. He's like, crap. Oh, he's gonna add to it. He's gonna add to it.
Oh!
Oh no! Oh no! Oh!
Wow.
And the chief chasing after on a motorcycle. Oh man. Oh.
I need to beat him. Ah.
He got away!
Even with him on the motorcycle.
Oh yes. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh. Yeah, the guy. Yeah, Okita, the guy in the background.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because now that he's seen him fight, he's like, yeah, I can take him. He's probably thinking like, I got this. And then he'll shut down any opportunity he has of surpassing him.
Wait, does that mean he'll become 5th if he beats him?
Yeah, it'll move his ranking up a lot, probably. Whoa! I think the chief's just waiting for Ippo's like decision. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right. Oh. Oh. Right.
Gotcha.
I love the psychology around pushing someone towards challenges that you know will keep them honed and focused, even if there's a good potential that they'll lose.
Yeah.
It's the power of focus is overwhelmingly strong, it seems. Oh, dang. Those are some fast jabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Ego. Ego!
Hey, that can still be a powerful motivator.
I know. But his focus...
Did he do the same thing that Date did?
I like that they didn't show us exactly what it was.
But it looked like he was winding up for the same corkscrew.
Now, does he bring it all the way down to the bottom here?
I believe so.
Okay.
Oh, we're just already here.
We're just going.
Okay.
Ah! Ah, yes!
Fifth rank is
Right,
nothing.
yeah. Hey, Fuji. Oh, yep, you're right.
Okay.
Yep. Why did you show us? Yep,
Right.
Yep, here it is. Ah. In some ways, he could be throwing away his opportunity to defeat Date by facing Ippo here. Like, it's almost poetic how sad this could be for him. Yeah. Whoa!
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 All right.
Oh! Dang! Whoa!
Oh!
Whoa! That step in!
Ooh!
Oh! That was a good one!
Ooh!
It looks like he blocked the majority of it, but... Yeah. Wail into him!
Yeah, it's corkscrew.
Whoa!
Oh!
Did something happen to Ippo's arm? Oh, okay. He just noticed. Yeah, here we go. That's a good spot to end an episode. There you go.
Okay.
We were like, hey, they're gonna fight. It's in a month from now. We do some training. Nope, just skip immediately to it.
Right
I
away.
love it.
Man, like, for a show as long as Ippo,
Yeah.
I would not expect it to be rip-roaring like it is.
Like, so fast. It's kind of crazy because, like, in some ways, it is still a slower-paced kind of show based on the character stuff.
Sure.
But
And this is
actual...
still very much something to build up to the fight with Date.
Yeah.
But even so...
Right, but there was good character stuff that happened there. Freaking Takamura, though. Like... He still is the delinquent, really.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
But the fact that she broke up with him, and that's why it's like I can't say that I went on a date because then
I need to feed my ego by saying that yes, I carried the poor boy home. I'm such a good guy. I mean, she can't see that, but clearly everyone else should know that
he comes in all
I'm an amazing guy. Yes.
Whack. Okay.
All right.
We're moving and grooving.
We are going into another fight.
Wow.
We have Ippo having a wholesome, tender, amazing moment with Yamada.
That was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, we concluded the sparring match between Date and Ippo, and he kept getting up.
Yep. Like he got destroyed, but he kept getting up. He learned a lot. He knows he actually was able to see the punch and understand where it landed, and yeah, oh boy.
He even had awareness when time was stopped. Nani. What's standing power?
But the real question is, can you respond? Can you react while time is stopped?
You could say it was keep standing power, Yes. So, we have this episode, which primarily is a setup episode and, in some ways, a mirroring episode in prepping us for Okita development.
Yes.
By giving the focus in a lot of ways to Ippo, Yamada, and Yamada, I believe that's how you pronounce it, and Date in this whole encounter here. When Ippo tells his story to Yamada, God, that is going to mess me up. You're
thinking like Yamaguchi.
Yeah, I am basically. It's so perfect because we have the character who basically has watched himself grow and come full circle in some ways to where now he's in the position helping someone who's just like him, and in some ways is like even less fortuitous than him by not having all these natural, strength benefits,
all the
and things
preparation
like
that happened before he got to this point.
Yeah. So the inspiration can happen because the stories are relatable, they're to each other, but also Ippo is speaking from a position that is different than what Takamura or Kamigawa gave to him. So maybe in some ways Yamada is in an even better position because Ippo will give him something that is like truly like he was saying, like something that will make him cheer for him forever. Like that's something almost eternal. Like that's something that is immortal, that like cannot die now. And Yamada, God.
Although I will say that I personally would, if I had to choose whether to be in Ippo's situation that he was at the beginning or Yamada's, I would definitely choose Ippo's.
Oh, wouldn't we all?
Yeah. Oh,
like,
yeah.
Ippo has a superpower, y'all.
Right.
Like his superpower, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, is that he tells his body to do things and it does it.
Yep.
Like, that is so, like underrated. Like, that is so useful. And the fact that he's strong and he's now made a name for himself and he's got all these things that he has under his tools under his belt, basically. He's able to utilize them in these fights here, so we don't really see him as much as the underdog anymore. Nope. So I think it's very clever that the show is basically saying, hey, this has a fast pace to it. We're going to give him someone to call, Ippo senpai, which is like, Ippo's a senpai? Like,
right.
That's so exciting to think about the future of not just Ippo's career, but people around him as well.
Well, and also when Okita sent the challenge to Ippo, and then Date comes up to him, he's like, so why'd you do that? I know you're not one of those stupid boxers that thinks that that's all Ippo has to offer.
Right.
Why'd you do it? You know he's good. You know his punches are dynamite and they're terrifying, right?
You saw.
Right. You're good. These punches are great. They're not enough for Ippo.
Yep. So why are you doing this?
Right.
And I love that Date calls him out on his BS really quickly. Because if they had it be a thing of like where he calls him out on it after the match is over and, Okita's already lost, and he's like, why did you do it?
Right.
That would have been sad, but it wouldn't have been.
It would have almost feel like kicking a dog when they're down.
Yeah.
Like,
it feels like in this way, he's basically saying, hey, like you still don't have to do this. Like,
well, the other thing that he's doing, and this is more of a meta thing. Like this isn't something that Date is intentionally doing. But,
okay.
But it's making Okita the underdog.
Yes, you're right.
And when you make a sympathetic with the other side, the other the opponent, that makes us care. Even when it's something where like I didn't even really think that Okita was that high ranking enough to be someone that Ippo would fight.
Gotcha.
I thought he was more of like the person that would be more of like wanting to like avenge Date if Ippo ended up beating him and being like, I'm going to train so that I can beat Ippo, kind of a thing.
Sure.
But they still could do that.
Yeah.
But then they introduced the fact that no, he's fifth in featherweight, and he's also going to fight Ippo, and we're already into the fight with Ippo, and giving him the characterization so that we can root for him and stuff, all in that same episode that I also dealt with all the other stuff with Date and with Yamada. Like, that's pretty impressive. And the fight is probably going to end in the next episode, I'm guessing. Judging by the pace that this episode went, like...
Oh, yeah. Like, I am in love with not just the way the show handles its characters, but with the way it seems to just go balls to the wall with the pacing. Like, this is a really well executed show on just the whole sports shonen narrative. It's doing a really good job. And I don't watch this, like, I don't watch really these types of shows usually. Like, I've watched Haikyuu.
Right.
That's it. Like, this one is really good.
And neither of us are, like, you have Ultimate Frisbee, but, like, of the more, like, traditional, like, sports things, like, football or just, like, actual boxing and stuff like that, like,
Well, yeah, like, ones where it's more specifically around your physicality, specifically yours, not just, like, team coordination. Like, that's more what I have experience with. I've played a lot of team sports. And none of them are as focused on just getting your physicality and techniques within your physical movements and stuff up to snuff as they are with how you synergize and work well with the team because you're a team player. This is something else. So I find that somewhat relevant because maybe Date is trying to say, like, hey, just because I was giving him this match, you know, Ippo, that doesn't mean that I've forgotten that you're a part of our gym here. So I am going to come here and be like, hey, what are you doing? You need to be up to snuff if you're going to beat Ippo. Yeah. So in some ways, I feel like Date helped him just a little bit. And while it might have been off screen, it might have been in that month's time, I feel like when this fight ends, Date will remind him that he's still on, like, he's on his side.
If he hasn't already.
Yeah, if he hasn't already. Or he'll, like, call back to moments that happened off screen of being like, hey,
or that at the end
well.
Yeah, or at the end of the fight it'll like cement basically the stuff that happened off screen, you know, kind of a thing.
But hey, this is cool. Okita was introduced very recently. He is not that big of a character in the grand scheme of things from what we can tell. And yet they're already giving us a reason to care about him. And if they make the fight one where he's barely kind of holding on after a certain point, realizing that his corkscrew isn't going to be a end-all be-all punch, I would love to see things shift eventually into Ippo's favor, and we start to feel the emotion coming from this guy, because he tries to put on a kind of a colder front, kind of a
that veneer of like,
yeah, I'm better.
I got everything under control.
Yeah, exactly. When he clearly doesn't.
Right. And this also is potentially, since, I mean, Ippo's gonna win. That's basically setting up the track for Ippo to then go and potentially, like, okay, then he'll be fifth.
Fast tracked to Date.
Right, he got fast tracked to Date. So then we'll have 3 fights, and maybe they'll show each one of those in detail, you know? And then, okay, now Date. And then, boom, he could be featherweight champion, you know? That's kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, it's exciting because Ippo gets the opportunity that he shouldn't have gotten necessarily. Like, normally speaking, it makes more sense to punch up in the rankings, you know, to try and advance and be ambitious. But maybe that's something that is being revealed by just the technical side of things. This is something, as you know, we are not involved really in boxing in any way in our real lives. Like, we don't know that this is kind of a technical thing that would be strategically bad for Okita to do, in that why would he go and fight also someone who is 10th in the ranking when he's 5th? Because does he gain anything, like ranking wise, does he gain anything from that? Or is it more of a, hey, if I beat him, it counts as going through the semifinal thing that he was trying to do.
Sure.
And then he goes into the next stage of the bracket.
Yeah, what I could see happening, because I don't know how this works either, and if it was something where you didn't get anything from fighting people lower ranked than you, then what? Like, would it just be something where it's like, okay,
it's still in his statistics, you know?
Sure, it's still in his statistics, and you know, he's getting paid for it, you know, and stuff. And at that rank, you're probably actually making some fairly decent money.
Sure.
But yeah, normally you'd probably be, you know, going for people like within like a couple of you,
right?
You know?
Yeah, and maybe because there's so many boxers, the difference between 5th and 10th actually is nothing. Like, it's basically nothing, because if we assume that there's a lot of boxing matches happening other than this one, you know, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th have to be doing something as well, and they don't all have to be fighting each other. But even if they were, that's only like 2 or 3 other matches. So, you know,
sure,
just something to think about. That the way Chief kind of mentioned it is that bro, celebrate. The difference between 1st and 10th is nothing. Like, he's like, and you could be getting to that first place thing in a year. We just time skipped a month.
And he's
potentially jumping to 5th in a month, which is
kind of big deal. Yeah. So now it's like, he really could be fighting Date by the end of the year, easily.
Yeah, like maybe in like 5 months or something like that. Like half the time that Chief predicted.
Because he's getting him... Because the month to get him into fighting shape, I'm guessing once you do that, and the fact that Ippo was already kind of primed for that,
right? Because of all the running he did when he wasn't able to use his fist,
that you wouldn't have to start from scratch after every match. You just sort of have to maintain and then let your body recover from whatever punishment you took.
Mostly the healing, I would think. Yeah,
but like you would probably be keeping yourself in that peak physical form as far as like, you know, weight and muscle and everything like that. So, yeah,
it's exciting.
Yep.
Because Ippo, they mentioned a lot here, and I kind of talked a bit about it in the reaction, but the idea of Chief's main thing he was trying to do was to give fuel to the fire of Ippo searching out a new goal. And he said that based on the eyes that he saw after he had his match with Date, he's like, there's something different about that. So he's like, okay, I can see that he's focused on Date.
Right.
So I need to give him like encouragement in the specific focus that he's going for here. Yep. And if I don't give him that encouragement, I am doing him a disservice as a chief, as his trainer, essentially.
Right. The idea that Ippo losing against Okita here would not be as bad as him just sort of not being able to fight Date.
Right. Or him losing that focus towards the goal, which is Date.
Yeah, because there's the whole thing of Date's, you know, you're not going to be able to fight him forever if you don't hurry up. So
So this is something I've actually wanted to talk about with Ippo is I feel like if you were to gain something in the real world out of this show, there's a lot of like confidence things, a lot of you can do the thing,
sort of like push through to see it to the end. Yeah,
exactly. But I think there's actually something here with regards to focus that this show keeps kind of not harping on, because that sounds negative, but keeps kind of repeating and bringing us back to this idea that Ippo is at his best when he is focused on a target, when he has a specific goal in mind and he's going for it. Now, we don't see often in the show the mechanics by which he gets prepared to go after that goal. We more of see him in the midst of it, because it's probably more cathartic to see him
and then also
wrestling and struggling in the middle of like attaining that goal, but it's like it's right there. It's not something that's far away.
If we've got the why, how, and what, we see the why at the beginning. That is basically the reasoning by which he's going to push himself.
Yep.
But we skip the how of the actual pushing of himself, you know, other than like a few like montages maybe, but you know. And then we've got the what, which is what's the outcome. You know, what is he able to do with that? Is he able to actually do the thing that he wanted to do?
But I want to put this as a question to you on like a philosophical level. Do you think that the creator of the show is actually trying to make somewhat of a subtle point by saying that it's not important with the how? It's that you settle on the why and get that honed in, so that the how is just a gap of time in between you going for the specific goal.
Yeah. So if I were to say what I think it is, and I could totally be wrong, because you know, authorial intent and all that. But what I'm gathering from it, especially because the mangaka also has their own boxing gym, right? That this could be something where it's intentionally seeded as like a message. It could also just be what they notice, right? What they've observed, and
like this is what makes champions.
Right, exactly. This is what makes champions. And when I've seen people that apply themselves to something like, especially anything physical, is that they sort of turn their brain off when they're in the process. That basically they're not thinking at all about what it is, the fact that they're doing. Like that the month kind of just goes by, because and yes, they're absolutely working themselves to the bone over the course of that month, right? Yeah. But it's something where it's like, okay, no, the month, that's fine, because I feel like what ends up causing a lot of people to sabotage themselves, I know it's been like this for me as well, is the idea of when you're doing something and you're in an established pattern, repetition, you know, whatever, and you end up getting impatient, right? And you end up basically not focusing on what's ahead, and you focus on where you're at right now, and that you're not where you want to be, right? So then you end up like losing heart or faltering or whatever with regards to executing on the process that will get you to the goal that you want. And that's basically what Ippo is not doing here, right? He through that singular focus, he's just doing the prep that he needs to do. You know,
there's a moment in the episode where Yamada and Ippo are talking, and Ippo is telling the story of what he did that got him out of the bullying situation. And he said that I'm not sure if he specifically said focus, but is like as he basically committed himself to boxing, he noticed the things and people and stuff around him less and less. And doesn't that sound like focus? That is him basically putting on horse blinders and being like, nothing else matters. I'm going for this thing specifically.
Because like when we saw him avoiding the bullies and stuff, it wasn't something where it was like intentional. Like I'm not gonna let the bullies get to me. I'm just gonna avoid them. It was something of. No, he couldn't be bothered to deal with it, right?
He
it was
kind
just
of
like,
forgot they existed in a lot of ways.
He had other things on his mind. He had other things he was doing. He had been caught hold of by a fire that was driving him forward, and they weren't going to slow him down.
Oh, and I don't even know if this is even another thing, but I'm reading into this way too much. But like with the other three boxers, Kimura, Aoki, and Takamura. Didn't there seem to be some level of distraction? Takamura with his girlfriend situation.
Sure.
The idea that his ego and a lot of things with regards to this is something that's...
Well, and also...
I mean, he's already one of the best boxers and stuff, so he has kind of the privilege of not having to deal with that. But the idea of that Ippo's focus has taken him to a point where he might be surpassing in prestige Aoki and Kimura.
Which is they brought that up. The whole idea of him getting to fifth ranking, and then I think it was Aoki that was like, when the other people were like, fifth is nothing, throws the drink
was
at them. But this might be a total coincidence, right? Because the number 3, like that's a very go-to number for like groups, you know. But the fact that when you look at the 3 bullies, right? Now, this can be looked at in a positive light as well.
Oh, whoa. What are you about to...
There were 3 bullies, and there was the one sort of ringleader, and then the 2 sort of goons that would follow behind
him,
right?
Shoot. Shoot. I understand what you're saying now.
And Takamura, Aoki, and Kimura. Takamura being sort of the head goon, and he is very much kind of a goon, you know, in a lot of ways. And then the 2 sort of, you know, other goons that follow behind him. Now in there that is also a very positive thing in that he went from that to a positive, like, you know, like 3 people that are then his community, his, you know, the people that keep, you know, egging him on in both a jabbing kind of way, but then also you know, keep pushing him forward. But then also the idea that if it becomes a point where you know, maybe they're trying to distract him too much, or, you know, or whatever. I don't know. Not that they really would. It's more like I feel like that's more of just showing those little bits, because all the time that we're not seeing is just them training and whatnot. But but you bring that up, it's like, well, 3 and 3.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna bring up something also that Takamura in some ways kind of
looks up to Ippo.
Well, obviously, I think that there's some level of respect and stuff towards Ippo. But not in like an inferiority way where he feels like threatened or something like that. No. But I think what it is that maybe Takamura, in terms of confidence and focus and drive towards goals and stuff, he has his goal. He wants to be the greatest boxer in the world. He wants to be a world champion, a heavyweight champion of the world, and all that. But what if, though, he kind of needs these goons around him in order to keep the comparison problem from being too big of a one, where he compares himself to those that are obviously not even close to him in terms of caliber boxing. And that part of him is that's the distraction, is that his ego in some ways is a bit too wrapped up in this. And I'm potentially going a bit way too into this.
But yeah, one thing, something that I would love to see, is something where the story comes full circle, and that then Takamura gets kind of like egged on by Ippo a bit, because Takamura has so destroyed his opposition, right? That it's like, okay, you know, I've reached the top and have to stop, and that's what's bothering me, you know, like. But then suddenly he sees Ippo doing all this stuff, right? And it's like, oh man, okay, all right. I'm not gonna let this little punk, short, big dick kid, you know, show me up. You know, I'm gonna. All right, let's do this. You know, and then he shapes up, and then, you know, he could have maybe some like when they end up doing the world, you know, championship fight for Takamura, because like they're totally gonna do that at some point.
Oh, totally.
It's going to be awesome.
Yes. Okay, well that's. Yeah, I guess that's the episode. We have a fight on our hands, and it is one where we are starting to see that they're putting the underdog role into Ippo's opponents, which is exciting to think about, because most shonen don't do that.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but I mean, Ippo's at this level, so makes sense.
Yeah. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction discussion right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access to words, so you can chat with us about these stories, about anime in general. You can get involved with community events there, or you can talk with Jake about his book.
That's right. My passion project, sci-fi novel Battle Lines, is still available for order on Amazon. Link is in the description.
Go check it out in the doobly doo. So if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jake.
And we'll see you all next time.